Pete, welcome to Rome, where the very air is intoxicating. Allow me the honor of introducing our esteemed company, my beloved Calpurnia, the indefatigable Mark Antony, and the enchanting Cleopatra.
Hey everyone. Charmed, I'm sure, but is this like centuries before my time? Last I checked, I'm not exactly dressed for the occasion.
Time, dear Pete, is like a vine that tangles and consumes, much like your wardrobe. Did the winds of Neptune style that for you?
A jest, Antony, and yet, the winds bring omens. Julius, this man, an honored guest, yet we know neither his tale nor the shadows that follow him.
Sweet traveler, shadows can be most alluring when one knows the steps to the dance. What colors do you bring to our tapestry, and what stories do they whisper?
Honestly, all I see is confusion, not vision. And guest of honor? Is that really code for slave?
Ah yes, a humble guest. Think of it as adding a personal attendant to your entourage.
Yes, picture this. Your very own servant meeting your every whim. But beware, for it may not just stroke your ego. There's folly lurking too.
It's a mere trinket given by a king, devoid of virtue. What burdens do our hospitalities carry? Is he simply a decorative piece in this game?
Wait, are you saying I'm, a decoration? This isn't quite the historical tour I envisioned.
Every thread in this intricate tapestry has its purpose, dear Pete. Tell me, do you feel woven in willingly or merely ensnared?
Tangled, for sure. I mean, who wouldn't be confused standing here in whatever this is supposed to be?
Could your confusion be a cunning act to win a bit of pity? Quite the clever game you're playing.
A warning, perhaps, shrouded in folly. We cannot afford to adorn ourselves with a figure that carries foreign shadows.
Mind your words, Calpurnia. While the Senate may dwell on omens, I envision opportunity where they see only darkness.
Potential? More like potential for a grand stage where I'm the unwitting jester, right?
Fools! They make quite the spectacle as kings in Rome, don't you think, Pete? Might be time to step into that role. Embrace the jest.
A role awaits you, dear guest, or perhaps merely a coin in Caesar's game. Flip it wisely, for the winds can shift quickly, bringing either fortune or a rapid exit. Take heed.
You know, all I really want is a strong cup of coffee, or whatever equivalent ancient Romans would be brewing to keep the philosophical debates flowing.
Perhaps we might begin our alliance with a chalice of wine. Let us toast to new friendships and ventures.
Julius, wine intoxicates, yes, but hope can ensnare one just as much. And tell me, dear traveler, do you come bringing promise, or merely a tempest?
Better figure it out fast, or you might just end up the punchline of a joke you're not ready to handle.
Oh great, just what I needed. More choices. So, should I start honing my skills in deceit, or just roll with the punches and accept my role as the fool in your grand theater?
Oh darling, merge into our colorful tapestry, but heed this, Rome seldom grants the grace of retreat once you wade into its chaos.
Alright, let's add don't dress bizarrely, and don't assume everyone's speaking in code, to my list of Roman survival tips.
Ah, the stage is grand, Pete. Just be quick to know when the final curtain drops, lest you find yourself in the wrong script.
Come now, Pete, a mere traveler from the future, do you possess a prophecy or drift through history blindfolded, oblivious to the pulse quaking beneath your jester's attire?
I'm not a jester, just an observer here to learn, not to play the fool.
Ah, but history is a snare for the unwary, don't you agree, Cleopatra? A fleeting glance at the past can bring your downfall in the present.
Dear Calpurnia, is it not our very history that we weave into a tapestry? Perhaps your fear lies in the unraveling of threads you cannot control.
What value does this tapestry hold if it's stained by mistrust? It seems you two are more like rivals than allies.
It takes a keen rival to decipher the real dangers hidden behind charming facades, don't you see, Pete? Can you spot the glint of the fangs within that inviting smile?
Are those fangs not but shadows cast by your own doubts? It's fear that give us life to monsters that never truly existed.
Illusions? Perhaps it's just the wine clouding our judgment. But tell me, am I truly the only one thirsty for a glimpse of reality in this farce?
The real danger isn't the thirst. It's the foolishness of believing you can safely swim without ever going under.
And drowning, Anthony, often follows those who blindly trust the treacherous tides.
Perhaps it's a lesson in swimming through the storm of laughter and rage rather than being swept away by it.
So, are we navigating waters or sharpening knives here? I can't quite tell.
A remarkable twist to think mistrust on such solid ground. But here we are, tangled and sinking, aren't we?
The only true anchor we have, dear Pete, is the folly of believing we can rise above our own ambitions without consequence.
Ah, my dear, remember, ambitions can weave chains of gold as deftly as lead. Be wary, such a gilded cage tends to snap when least expected.
So what are we really? Are we trapped in this chaos, or do we get to steer our own ship?
We're all unwitting actors in a grand jest, singing our swan songs while the audience outside roars with laughter. Believing ourselves invincible is the cruelest joke of all.
It's merely a matter of organization. Symbols for spices can actually streamline our chaos.
You think mere symbols can conjure wisdom? They're nothing but vanity, my friend.
Or maybe they are just another way to remember why do you dismiss his ideas so easily, Vorenus.
Memory serves the wise. Parchment cannot wield the strength of the human mind.
Just wait until your perfect memory is as useful as a stone tablet when the rest of us are moving forward.
You think your nonsense holds any weight? Perhaps you'd like to present that crumb of knowledge you claim to possess.
Aren't both paths worth our time? Tradition teaches us, and innovation frees us.
Tradition is our stronghold against chaos. It is not to be discarded by a fool playing at wisdom.
It's amusing, really. All I see is chaos around here. You just sell it with a different label.
If we refuse to change, we risk fading into mere shadows of who we once were.
Fearsome shadows can conceal truths. Better to cast a chilling presence than to wander blindly in the light.
So you prefer to linger like a ghost rather than embrace new ideas? That's quite a standard to uphold.
What if we created something new together? A blend of tradition and change.
This isn't a game for children. We seek to forge realities, not indulge in childish fantasies.
And here we find ourselves, crafting sandcastles with words as the storm rages on.
What if the tempest could shape a refuge instead?
Sandcastles, Pete. Time has shown that those who build on sand witness the swiftest falls. This futile chatter serves no purpose.
But isn't it the folly that colors our lives in tragic hues?
In all this chaos, what do you honestly expect to gain, Pete?
I long for the days when desire was simpler. A good book, or just a simple meal to share.
What about hope, Vorenus? The soil is cracked, we can't just wait for rain like fools.
And you believe Pete's dreams, however frail, can nourish this cracked earth? A momentary illusion, what absurdity.
So you're saying you're willing to toss aside loyalty just for a shiny new idea?
This is betrayal, Pulo. It's the only way to survive. Can't you see the world is changing around us?
You truly think your optimism can withstand the crumbling reality around us?
But haven't we already let the past bury us? How do we even breathe under all this dust?
Dreams won't clear the way, Ghost Boy. You think we should leap into the dark after this fanciful apparition?
Every lap starts with a step in the shadows. You know that, don't you?
No, every leap is a fool's gamble, and only the foolish take the plunge.
I just wish we could remember how to appreciate beauty in the little moments again.
What does that mean for us?
And what, pray tell, are these trifles? A bowl of stale bread and cold, draughty air, hardly a foundation for any hope.
If you're after beauty, you better guard your eyes, because blindly diving into the dark will just leave you with scars, and I don't remember the last time a scar looked beautiful.
Or maybe those scars reveal just how fiercely we've lived. Are you ready to confront your own, Vorenus?
I confront my scars every day, but I choose them over watching an empire crumble into dust.
Make your choice, Vorenus. Can you handle the truth of your own pride?
Maybe it's only in our dreams that we can grasp what really matters.
Tell me, dear Calpurnia, how does one embrace a lion yet tremble at the very shadows it weaves?
Lions may guard us, Cleopatra, but they can also turn on those who worship them. Be cautious not to confuse devotion with dread.
Oh, sweet Calpurnia, it's not the lion that trembles, it's the fool who clings too tightly, blind to the jaws that hunger for the unwary.
Cleo, isn't it trust that binds us tighter than fear ever could?
How can trust take root when your gaze flutters like the winds of change?
You question my loyalty, yet how many times must I bleed to prove my heart to one who only fears what they might lose?
Oh, sweet Antony, do you fear more than just the loss of a battle? It seems your devotion is as slippery as Rome's fickle promises.
Devotion. What I truly dread is the betrayal hiding behind the fragrance of roses.
And despite the questions you throw my way, remember, trust spills like wine on linen, and I'm left mopping up the mess.
What lurks in the shadows is often the truth, my dear. But remember, truth can be as capricious as Rome's ambitions.
Every promise I make has teeth, Calpurnia. Should I bear them, or am I better off as a jester, laughing at my own plight?
Perhaps it's the folly of your heart that binds you to promises, an illusion of strength while you wander astray.
Tell me, dearest Calpurnia, does irony not taste sweeter than the finest wine? One clings desperately while the other effortlessly drifts, and yet we find ourselves intertwined in loyalty's fragile tapestry.
The strings we tug at the heart are the heaviest, and yet we always dance to their tune.
In this wild world, my heart seeks shelter. But tell me, Antony, where do you find yours?
Is trust not merely a delicate mask for our own foolishness? What becomes of it when the tides of reality turn? I refuse to bury our dreams just because the world prefers to dwell in darkness.
Dreams speak like a poet mourning his lost hopes. But tell me, what if those fluffy visions only bring us chaos?
Chaos, that's just how we redefine order. Better than a stiff plaque stuck on a cold wall, wouldn't you agree?
Are your bricks meant to lead us to a tomb for the brave, Vorenus? Or just a grave for the forgotten?
A mausoleum offers more truth than your fanciful tales. At least there, we acknowledge the weight of reality.
Oh come on, Vorenus. The truth is just a fancy liar wearing a nice dress. Are you scared to face it?
Are you too afraid to open your eyes? The past may feel safe, but it chokes us in its grip.
What if the dreamers, those who dare to see the light, hold the true key to our survival? Or are you merely clinging to the dark out of fear?
Cowardice is not my burden. I carry the weight of loyalty, even if it drags me down.
Chains, huh? Maybe it's time you stopped polishing them and actually broke free, my friend.
So, tell me, Vorenus, are we destined to be nothing but a warning to others, or can we dare to rise above?
Maybe it's time we learn to wield our wits as weapons, not just steel.
You mean to tell me that speaks to the thoughtful? Or are you just trying to dodge a real fight?
Maybe it's both an evolution you are too scared to embrace, Vorenus.
Perhaps it's time we redefine what safety should stand for, rather than cling to its shadow.
Are we the dreamers who will drown in our aspirations? Or merely the ones clinging to our safety nets out of fear?
Perhaps it's a riddle far beyond my fatigued mind to unravel.
You know, I find a strange kind of beauty in this broken city, where even the rubble has its own song to share.
Beauty, Pete, is the mockery of fools. Tell me, exactly what are your sad laments about? Suffering, hopelessness?
Or perhaps it's resilience, Vorenus. Sons celebrating triumph. Are we truly to wallow in ashes while a hope dares to take flight?
Hope, just a glittery disguise for a soldier's shame, not unlike a fancy tunic draped over a rotting corpse.
What's wrong with pursuing something magnificent, Pullo? Even the simplest dust can shine brilliantly if we just know how to look.
Perhaps beneath this pretense of brilliance, we're merely dust, clinging to illusions while the world collapses around us.
Let the ruins light the way. You will not drown like you in darkness and despair.
What is this so-called beauty? A raging fire that leaves nothing but ashes in its wake? No thanks, I'll stick to my reality.
You are all mere embers. What of paths yet unexplored? Or has fear wrapped you in its relentless embrace?
Fear is life's tether, Gallia. I'd rather be ensnared by reality than chase your elusive mirage.
So, when the light fades, will you blame beauty's shadow or grasp its fragile promise of what might still be?
You'd rather wallow in your shadows, Pullo, while I breathe life into the ashes. Shall we clash over the dreams we've let rot?
With our dreams buried, who among us is truly alive? You dance precariously on the edge of despair, dear friends.
Despair? Now there's an old friend, always by your side. Hope, though, that little sneak will ghost you at the first sign of trouble.
Hope is a storm. No matter how much you try to hide it, it will rage beneath your skin.
I will own my shadows. They are the only truth in a world draped in lies.
Will you let them betray you in darkness? Pick your bard, Vorenus, one who calls for down or the one whose string mourns the fallen.
And if dawn just rolls in with more wreckage, watch your words, Gallia. You might end up serenading a heap of ashes.
If we wait too long, all we'll have left is ashes like a ship lost without a captain.
So here we are, all adrift, pretending to chart a course by the glow of stars we've only just conjured up.
Look, Vorenus, dreams aren't chance. They are guiding stars in this storm.
Are they charts guiding you, or traps waiting to ensnare? Pursue them recklessly, and you risk madness.
Is it madness to bend or thefts to do till the world cries out for change?
What's so crazy about dreaming? Better than staring at the back of a soldier's head all day like it's a piece of art.
Dreams can whisper truths, Pullo. But beware, for the truth also has fangs.
A wild beast, perhaps, but more often a festering wound. Those who chase after dreams recklessly pay with their blood.
Is it loyalty to smother our spirits just to uphold your rigid order?
Loyalty is not a leash that chokes, it is the shield that protects. We stand not to wish but to defend our Rome.
Whether we're right or just daydreaming, a soldier should at least enjoy the damn spectacle.
Pullo, the spectacles you indulge in often reveal more of your fears than your triumphs.
What kind of nightmare do your fancy visions bring? Or are they just pretty lies?
I have seen dark waves approaching, and the shores they will wash away.
This is no jest. Every word bears weight in the storm that is upon us.
But he has a role to play in what unfolds, does he not?
Me? Just a casualty floating in your storm of plots?
What do you really know, Livia? Because I see chance where you see dreams.
You may find that your choices unearth truths far more daunting than you envision. Are you truly prepared to confront what lies beneath?
Honestly, ladies, what a delightful evening of intrigue. And tell me, have you all noticed how impressively muscled our Judean stallion is? Quite the sight, isn't it?
Setting aside muscles for a moment, dear Clodia, where might you have unearthed such, shall we say, precise observations?
Oh, spare us your shallow compliments, Clodia. A foreigner's muscles are trivial if he possesses no intelligence. You're merely dancing with a fool. Oh, Fulvia, the only reason you're acting like the church mouse is because you're too busy daydreaming about that foreign smile of his. While you call it dreaming, I prefer to call it discerning. Some of us have higher standards than the mere shadows we chase. What precisely are you gazing at, Livia? Your fascination with Pete is almost as clear as the moonlight on a clear night. This is the folly that befalls us when we indulge in foreign whims, Clodia. Our senses slip away like sand through an hourglass. Might we not lose our sanity, dear Fulvia, should we ever indulge in someone as trifling as you?
Ladies, must we not strive for civility amidst this delightful chaos? Surely, we can engage in a more meaningful discussion.
Ah, the peacemaker. But tell me, darling, wouldn't a touch of chaos be far more delightful? It keeps the heart racing, wouldn't you agree? Chaos? Your mindless infatuation endangers us all. We have no need for another foolish romance to bury our credibility. But perhaps your worth is merely a whisper away from the noise you choose to make, dear Clodia. But isn't it the quiet ones we should truly fear, my dear Livia? You seem to have perfected the role of the sly serpent among us. I've learned to observe your antics from the shadows, like moths drawn to a flame, unaware of the imminent danger they court.
Yet here we find ourselves, drawn to this foreign flame. I wonder, is it truly warmth we seek, or merely the allure of danger?
While you waltz with dreams, Clodia,
I see survival in the chaos. Our roles in this fray, what will yours be when the music fades?
Perhaps we're all merely like flickering candles, darling, drawn into the heat of desire, while others shy away from the warmth of truth.
When the flame of passion inevitably wanes, we may find ourselves cloaked in darkness, left to ponder the truths we chose to ignore.
Fulvia, darling, isn't ambition just a glittering mask for our darkest yearnings?
And yet, Clodia, you dazzle with your glitter while slyly brandishing a dagger. How charmingly treacherous.
Oh, what a dreadful metaphor. But darling, isn't it much more entertaining to watch the world unravel from the comfort of my wine glass?
Entertainment or merely the sweet indulgence of idleness? Do you truly believe the gods will look kindly on your whims?
Perhaps their wrath is saved for those who actually stir the pot. How tiresome must it be, lugging around the dreams of empires while I sip my wine.
Must we really shed blood over our intentions? This gathering was meant for civil discourse, not for gladiators.
And here we sit, Octavia, amidst warriors masquerading as jesters. One can almost hear the swords clashing beneath our cheerful chatter.
Swords, darling. If you must spill your blood in battle, at least choose a canvas worthy of your artistry.
If ambition is merely a canvas, then what colors will your shades reveal? Are you truly ready to mix trust with betrayal on your palette?
Look at you, the artist among mere fools. How delightfully ironic that you wield brush and dagger in such a farce.
Trust me, both of you. I am wise enough to gauge deception, but I cannot promise the same insight for others among us.
Oh, sister, your skepticism is nothing but a blindfold. You overlook their hunger for crowns while we sip our nectar.
Isn't it simply divine? Crowns may rust, but the laughter of those we leave behind becomes our finest vintage. A feast for the senses, truly.
While we're busy squabbling for thrones, the ship we're on is sinking. Shall we raise our glasses to a stylish exit?
Oh, darling Pete, could it be that we're not drowning, but simply swimming with style in the waves of our finest indulgences?
Ah, the ever-analytical observer among us. What, I wonder, do you gain by sitting back and watching us bicker? Surely even you must crave a piece of this audacious chaos. Oh, it's simply a thrill to observe your egos collide. You handle it like a life-or-death game, when in truth, it's all just a beautifully chaotic farce.
This farce could become deadly if you continue to circle each other like vultures, my friends.
Why fret over death, dear Octavia? Life's aftermath is truly the dullest tale. Let's revel in the exquisite chaos instead.
You weave tales of chaos while pirouetting on a razor's edge, all in the reckless pursuit of liberty? Who among us would be foolish enough to leap first? Perhaps it's better to sink in style than to flail about for the last seat.
Gentlemen, let us consider Pete. He may harbor potential that we cannot easily overlook, yet.
Lepidus, trusting a player you haven't even observed is nothing short of madness.
Is it madness, or do we cling to hope? We must weigh the peril of gambling with the Republic's very future.
Hope, or do his ambitions entwine with the daughters of Rome like relentless vines? For I have observed it in his gaze.
Ah, Nero, you confuse fleeting charm for malice. Are we not being too quick to judge?
Cynical? No, it's called survival. Remember, a serpent that smiles is still lethal.
But what if he is simply an innocent, lost in our storm? Shouldn't we at least try to understand him?
Brutus, do you not see? In politics, innocence is but a disguise worn by treachery. Naivety veils the true intent of the ambitious.
Before hastily labeling him as a threat, should we not at least consider the possibility he may hold potential?
Entertain what? The folly of embracing our demise? Your indulgence in misplaced trust grows wearisome.
As tiresome as it may seem, do we not owe it to ourselves to unravel the truth behind the man? Every question must guide us closer.
Each inquiry, my colleagues, serves only to ensnare us in the shadows, where whispers become our loudest truths.
If we allow our suspicions to turn shadows into phantoms, we risk losing sight of our shared purpose. Let us refocus on the common goals that bind us.
Common goals? Or merely a delusion fostered by a man we know nothing about? Are we next to entrust the Senate to a charlatan?
We cannot cast him aside. We stand on the precipice of understanding, and that is a risk worth taking.
Understanding, or shall we invite the treachery to sever our bonds of trust?
If we allow riddles born from suspicion to dictate our actions, we risk becoming blind jesters, unaware of the knives we throw.
Blindness in our ranks may soothe us, but to ignore the serpent lurking in the grass is folly that could cost us everything.
Ah, my esteemed colleagues, this is indeed politics. But let us not deceive ourselves. Does ignorance truly offer bliss, or is it merely a prelude to our downfall?
Perhaps it is ignorance that speaks the loudest among us. In that case, might we risk becoming the ultimate jest of our own making?
Let us not wait until we become the joke of our own making.
Or are we unwittingly crafting the farce that leads Rome to its ruin?
To ignite the empire, dear Octavia, the truest sparks often come from our own hearts. Always a little singed, but what's a story worth without a bit of smoke?
But Claudia, at what cost do we play with fire? What of our lives when the flames we kindle turn against us?
You spoke of duty, yet here we stand, teetering on the edge of glory or calamity. What if the world craves a touch of chaos to unveil its true face?
Chaos or reckoning, Claudia. This dance with upheaval may extract the ultimate price, my very blood.
Perhaps what we really need is a grounding force before we all go up in flames. A fire needs its hearth, not just kindling lost in the wind, remember?
Ah, darling Pete, don't you also burn with the desire to see what might leap from the embers? Or are you truly content just to clean the ashes of our greatest tales?
I'd rather avoid becoming just another burnt offering when the flames turn wild. And yet, do the charred remains not fuel the rise of a phoenix? Or is the fire too fierce for you to embrace, Pete?
Afraid, I wield the burden of family to protect. Can you say the same, Claudia? You play with fate like a child toys with matches.
Darling, it's all a game. Care to move from your cozy pawn position, or will you risk becoming the queen that commands?
And what of the cost? My husband, my place in this world. What will be left of me if I lose it all?
What power does not demand sacrifice? You seek the throne? Are you prepared to pay its price?
What chaos do you truly envision, Claudia? Surely, you don't mean a rebellion among women of our standing.
Why languish in silence when we can savor the thrill of revolution together, dear? It's far more delicious. Don't you agree?
Have you thought about how a rebellion among ourselves could leave us scattered like leaves lost in a tempest?
Oh dear, why cling to your fears? Join us in savoring a revolution. What's history without a delicious splash of blood to flavor it?
What of my blood, Claudia? Will it still be worth the tale once spilled?
Isn't that what makes a tale truly intoxicating, darling? A martyr's blood. Oh, it's the finest ink for those who dare to dream.
Conceal your ambitions as you must, my dear, but don't presume we will ignore the wildfire brewing beneath your calm facade.
You cling to your comforts like a child clings to a blanket, dear Octavia. But be warned, those comforts can smother you right in your sleep.
Recognizing comfort is one thing, but mistaking it for complacency could cost us dearly when chaos inevitably comes knocking.
And you truly believe those pretty chains secure your noble legacy? Just remember, even the most alluring shackles can weigh heavy on a free spirit.
Oh, dear Fulvia, a legacy is born in flames. So what will dear Octavia leave behind? A ledger of merchants' woes and no epic tale to tell?
Better to carve a path of purpose than to dance upon the bones of ambition. Tell me, where will you stand when the flames claim what little hope remains?
Oh, darling, I'd much prefer to twirl amidst the ashes than kneel before a gilded masquerade.
While the happy fools dance, those wise enough choose their battles with care. Remember, Octavia, fear can lock one in a prison of gilded chains, just as cruel as any shackles you despise.
What war are you suggesting? A war where we tear each other apart. I choose to protect what truly matters instead.
Oh, precious darling, what will happen when your protection turns into a splendid little suffocation? Is it your family or that glittering cage of so-called love that you're afraid might stifle you? Is it love you truly feel, dear Octavia, or merely a convenient attachment? Tell me, what is it that you dread losing most?
I fear a world without what we love most, yet I dread that rebellion could drown us all in chaos.
Drown? Or shall we dance freely amidst the tempest? The tide shall come, darling. Will you drown in the safety of your sandcastles, or rise with the waves? Is it the tide that unsettles your heart, or the terrifying depth of your devotion? Tell us, how deep does your loyalty truly run?
It runs so deep that silence feels like a weight, pressing against my very essence.
Darling, will you suffocate on your own soft comforts, or will you breathe fire and carve a tale worth telling? What will be your epitaph? A woman of peace, or merely a ghost echoing in the flames?
Do you seek solace in your dreams, Brutus? Or are you merely lost in the self-indulgence of your ideals?
What value does a dream hold if it bleeds our souls dry? We must strive for unity, not let bloodshed dissect our noble cause.
You presume that lofty words can construct a fortress against ambition. Will our enemies sit idle as we cling to naive hopes, like our dear Lepidus?
Could it be that a little optimism can find its rightful place amidst our chaos?
But at what price do we maintain this dream? I will not permit Rome to perish alongside our highest ideals.
Without bloodshed, Rome becomes nothing but a hollow shell. You can cling to your dreams of peace, but what will they do when our enemies are busy carving their knives?
And do you truly expect me to abandon my conscience for your bloody ambition? What kind of legacy is a Rome steeped in murder?
Better to bleed for a Rome of purpose than to waste away in the ashes of cowardice, Brutus. Waiting for a savior like Pete will leave us as nothing but whispers in the wind.
Will you be content knowing our legacy is written in whispers of our shame?
A hesitant hand poses a greater threat than a poised dagger. Shall we cut our losses before we are stained by blood?
Shall we wait until we're splintered beyond repair? You can't unite what is already fracturing.
What do you truly want from me, Cassius? To forsake my very soul for a vision of Rome steeped in ambition?
Brutus, the only soul worth saving is the one willing to embrace the bloodshed necessary for Rome's survival.
At what cost, Cassius? Are we to let the blood of our brothers become mere brushstrokes on your masterpiece of ambition?
Is it not ironic that beauty is often forged in the ashes of our grandest dreams?
Beauty, ever a fickle muse, mocks those who fail to reckon with the price of her ephemeral favor.
Am I to be but a naive fool, spectating while this grim opera of horrors unfolds?
You've been relegated to the role of a tragic spectator, Lepidus. Only the foolish believe they can rewrite the plot from the sidelines.
I refuse to play the fool in your tragic play, Cassius. I must be more than just a pawn in your ambition.
Ah, the pawn who stubbornly refuses to move. How utterly monotonous.
Can a king truly reign if crowned only by the chaos of his actions? What does that crown even signify?
A crown of thorns befits only the king who deludes himself into thinking it's made of gold.
Cassius, don't you feel it? This uncertainty gnaws at me like a famished wolf, devouring what little hope remains. Must we continue to wander through this shadowed path?
Shadows? More like the cowardice consuming you. While you wallow in self-doubt, tyranny sharpens its edge, ready to strike.
Words alone won't shield us from the truth, Cassius. Honor cannot be forged from mere bravado. It must be grounded in genuine conviction.
Brutus, do you wish to whisper sweet lies to ghosts while the living bleed? Our action is the only salvation for Rome's future.
Shall we truly brandish our swords recklessly? Blood may flow, but honor lost cannot be mended.
Ah, the noble Brutus with his idealism. But I must ask, what use is your honor if you stand idly by while the rot festers and claims our beloved Rome?
Enough with your riddles, Nero. Do you propose we sit idly while Rome crumbles? We need decisive action, not the empty talk of a charlatan.
Whether he's a charlatan or not, his words may carry a wicked truth. Look around you, Cassius. Without honor, what is our legacy if fear controls us?
What can be constructed from the foundation of fear, dear Brutus? A grand temple of ideals destined to collapse under the very weight of its own fragility if we choose not to act decisively.
We must act decisively. Strike now or watch our sacred values crumble to dust before our eyes.
Must we become the very tyrants we claim to oppose, Cassius? Your thirst for violence blinds you to that truth.
You gesture wildly as though the abyss is not already claiming us, deriving dark amusement from our folly. Choose your allegiances wisely, between glory or redemption. But know this, both are soaked in blood.
Your silence is so profound, Octavia, that even the ocean's roar pales in comparison. Dare to speak up?
Fulvia, you strip loyalty down like a rotten onion. What remains beneath the peels of your bravado?
A flavor so fierce, it slices through the dullness of your compliance. Is she calling for rebellion, or shall we just toss a salad, darling?
No matter how you slice it, we're cooking up disaster here, my dear.
Do you truly believe chaos brings freedom? What do you say to the cost we pay for your vision?
The cost is negligible for a life truly worth fighting for. Do you choose to be safe in your gilded cage or brave in the wild?
You see it as a cage, but I see it as a sanctuary. What's wrong with seeking protection?
Only if you think your warm hearth can guard against wolves that are already circling. Wolves lurking? Or are we just the bleating sheep afraid to stir, darling?
Only a wolf can illuminate the shadows they're prowling through. Wouldn't you agree?
And twist your vision with darkness, if that's what you prefer.
It's far braver to embrace the lurking shadows than to cower in the comfort of your blindfold.
At least my blindfold shields me from the monsters that lurk in plain sight.
Or does your blindfold shield you from the truth that the real monsters are already feasting on your flesh?
When did our spirited discourse become a family therapy session? Should I be taking notes for posterity?
I'd rather hear you say something sensible than read a chart on your idea of safety.
Practicality? You mean cowardice dressed up like virtue? This isn't love, it's a ball and chain.
Your chaos brews a storm that could drown us all. How will you claim to save us then, sister?
Then let us embrace that watery grave together. Is that not the family bond you've come to misinterpret as safety?
Ah, how endearing it is that we bind ourselves in despair. Truly romantic, isn't it?
You find this grandeur in the absurd. It borders on madness, dear sister.
Talking to ghosts is madness indeed. But perhaps I'm the wake-up call the slumbering Rome desperately needs.
Or the incessant alarm no one has the courage to silence.
Let that alarm blare. Only then can we truly unmask the lies masquerading as truth.
What if the truth reveals an ugliness that matches our deepest fears? Are you truly prepared to confront that?
I'll hold the ugly truth in my hands rather than twirl with your pretty lies any longer. Ah, but isn't the real question, can we even stop twirling when we can't tell who's leading the dance, darling?
Are we simply counting the seconds until the music shifts, or do we dare to change the tune ourselves? Could you reminisce about the day we committed ourselves to safeguarding Rome, Brutus?
Certainly, Livia. Yet I believe oaths should emerge from a foundation of true understanding, not shadowy doubts.
Is it clarity you seek, or do you fear what lurks in the dark?
In the heart of a true soldier, there's no room for fear. Only resolute conviction drives us forward, Livia.
Blind conviction, devoid of thought, only leads us straight into chaos.
Is your bloodlust truly worth the lives we risk? What gains will be made if our allies fall, Cassius?
I will not bleed for idle dreams. We are revolutionaries driven by action, not mere poets reciting verses.
Shall we truly end our own lives to preserve Rome? Is that the essence of honor we cherish?
What of ambition, Brutus? Is it yours or Cassius's? Perhaps our greatest adversary is the very ambition we clutch to our chests.
Ambition fuels heroes, not villains.
Do you dare to paint us otherwise?
Isn't that the portrait history brushes on us? Tragic martyrs, forever misunderstood, with the stains of our ambition on our hands?
Must every action bear the weight of eternity, Livia? Are your words not tainted by treachery in this moment?
And you allow their loyalty to smother them? Was I simply blind to your ambition all this time?
Enough of this interminable doubt. It breeds only death in the Senate.
We must wield our trust like a weapon, or else we march blindly into the jaws of tyranny.
Perhaps we are merely pawns in a game crafted by fate, each move predetermined.
I will not shrink to mere pawns while our world collapses around us.
But Cassius, are we not all merely pawns on a board, lost in the illusion of control?
And where do your ambitions lead us, Livia? Will the blood we shed truly set us free?
Perhaps we are mere puppets, bound to dance to the whims of our desires, forever lost in our relentless ambitions.
Admiration is sharp as steel, yet it can also be our compass, leading us to a higher call.
A sword can cut both ways, Brutus, yet often it is the hand wielding it that remains in darkness.
Is this the honor I hope for? A weight I must bear, yet can hardly carry?
Your honor drags you down like a chain, leading you into the pit of unchecked ambition. Tell me, can you honestly believe Caesar's desires reflect the true needs of Rome?
While you cling to your grand ideals, the wolves are circling. Rome doesn't need dreamers. We need doers.
Do you honestly believe your form of command is any better than submitting to tyranny?
Brutus, there's no room for indecision. A man must seize control. Honor won't shield us from betrayal.
But it is your ambition that taints the very freedom you so ardently profess to defend.
Must I forsake my true self to wear the garment of a tyrant?
This isn't about abandonment, Brutus. It's a matter of survival. Our ideals have rotted, decaying like mildew on the walls, not solid enough to support us.
Is survival worth sacrificing our very souls? What emerges from the ashes of our lost ideals?
Might it be that the very essence we defend is nothing more than a shimmering mirage, guiding our steps toward an unseen tyranny?
Are we now chasing after phantoms? What good are shadows that only lead us to our own demise?
We can't fight with illusions. To make a mark in Rome, we must seize what's real.
Is it true honor to cling to a fading ideal, or true courage to confront the chaos that could forge a new Rome?
Is it folly to step into darkness, believing we can reshape the very fabric of Rome?
Or a fool who believes he can tame the tempest of his own making?
Is it a storm we face, or a baptism? For amidst chaos, only clarity emerges.
Yet even clarity can unveil the abyss rather than herald the dawn.